The most difficult property to sell is not the one that needs the most updates. It's the one that the owners are getting a divorce. And I recently got a certification in divorce real estate. And it's not because I'm love for that to be my niche or anything. I would love for people to never get divorced, and I love first-time home buyers who are, especially happily married couple or newlyweds. Single women are actually my favorite. Sorry guys, I love you, but I love helping all people buy their first home. But the most difficult house to sell is the one where the owners are actually getting a divorce, because obviously there's conflict. The people sometimes aren't speaking to each other. They maybe don't agree on the price. Maybe they don't agree on selling. They don't often want to be selling. So there's a lot of things that end up going on. And so there are three things that make selling a house during a divorce difficult in ways you might not think. The first one is that you don't have to agree on everything in order to move forward. That's actually a misconception, that both parties have to be completely aligned with all aspects of the sale in order to move forward. And what they really need is the correct professionals in order to keep communication possibly separate, fair, and moving. People that can be unbiased and fact-based in the process to keep everybody on track for the sale to be able to move. Which, whether or not everybody agrees on all the things, a lot of times they're in a position where the house has to sell. So to have somebody in place who can be unbiased is really important. And the second one is that the second difficulty is that the house is emotional. It's an emotional attachment. It's not just business. It represents your whole life. It represents the memories, the milestones, the plans, things that didn't turn out the way that you obviously were thinking, and decisions that seem simple on paper but were actually heavy in real life. You need a professional who can really work through issues. I've worked through mediation training, which I do not want to be an actual mediator, but to be able to communicate enough to be able to understand what both parties are looking for is really important. And to navigate an emotional situation without rising to meet the emotional situation myself, to be able to stay fact-based and unbiased and unjudgmental of the situation that will be emotional for the people involved. And the third one is that the goal is not just selling the house. The goal is to help both people to move into the next chapter of their life with the clarity, the dignity, and the financial protection that is as much as possible for both people. It's not just a number on a piece of paper when it comes to this. So I did complete my divorce certification. So it is really good. Actually, it's helped me with navigating just the negotiation of any sale with the agent on the other side, helping to navigate the other people, helping to set expectations and set boundaries for the people that I'm working with. It's really helped a lot to get that training on helping people navigate successfully, because this is such a huge transaction that a lot of people will they'll almost lose a transaction because maybe somebody asks for something to be repaired that's just maybe $1,000 or something, and the sale is maybe maybe the sale is $400,000, and sometimes they can't agree on a very small detail, because when you think about spending $1,000 in a normal situation, it's a very big deal, and it is actually a difficult choice. But when you're negotiating the price to not have to go back on the market with a property and to end the stress of the situation, handling the expectations of that well before the problem comes up, and how to work through that, it can be it takes a lot of work to navigate the emotions of a sale when there aren't any issues between the people doing the buy or the sell. So having the extra training to help people who aren't necessarily all on the same page, I feel is really, really, has been really valuable for me to learn. And not saying that you have to use me if you're in this situation, but I also work with agents. My brokerage is a worldwide brokerage, and I can vet agents anywhere in the country and anywhere in the world, really. But I'd probably mostly say that I know of agents. I can look them up and speak with them and find out what their qualifications and see their certifications anywhere in the country. So if you're moving, even if you're not getting a divorce, it can be a stressful situation. So having someone who's practiced at the art of mediating and setting expectations can really make a deal. It can actually be what keeps it from falling apart. And right now, our economy in Minneapolis area where I am, the Twin Cities and the surrounding suburbs, has been steady. We haven't been in as big of a slump as some areas. We're pretty steady. But more sales are falling out of escrow than previous years. So to be able to navigate a transaction successfully is really, really important. And a lot of times right now, that's just making sure all of the steps are understood before the jump, making sure you know what might be asked of you. I can see what problems might come up. We're not waiting on a guess. Like I'm giving you information so that if something comes up, you knew it already and you can plan for the steps. You already have been thinking about what you're going to say when such and such comes up. So, so call me if you are looking to sell maybe a high stress situation. And if you're not in Minnesota, I have access to agents anywhere in the country. I just referred someone in Wisconsin to a really good friend of mine, was able to vet this agent who has a lot of experience and was able to qualify and vet them. So just please don't be afraid to DM me. No questions too small, no questions too big. And I would like to help you. All right, thanks.